Hey guys, let's talk about silence. Not just any silence, but the awkward silence on dates. It's those silent moments that make you wonder, oh no, what is she thinking? What should I say next? What other things can I ask about? She must feel really weird about this. Now I'm starting to get nervous. Oh gosh, I just realized I've been thinking for so long. Now it's awkward. Right? So how do you handle awkward silence? What do you do? What questions to ask? So let's answer that. The first thing I want to talk about in regards to awkward silence is really the awkwardness is in your head. It really is. So at the end of the day, awkward is an internal feeling. It is something that you are allowing to I guess, define that situation. You feel awkward. Does that mean she does? We don't. A lot of times when people ask this question, it's because they feel that it is awkward to have that silence. So the first thing that I want to say is work on, making it less awkward for yourself. And here's how to do it. First, it's remembering that silence is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I mean, in the most healthy relationships, there's a lot of silence. I mean, being able to be comfortable with each other and comfortable with the silence says a lot about a relationship and how strong and comforting it really is. So it's actually a good thing if you both share silence and enjoy it. And I want you to ask yourself, in the situations where you feel it's awkward, what kind of situation is it? Is it the right place to have that silence? So for example, if you two are eating, right, you don't have to be talking during the whole entire time while you're trying to eat. No one likes to eat with their mouth full, right? And maybe you're taking a stroll around the city or a park and then there's silence, but silence because, it's kind of nice to enjoy the environment and to enjoy the view, no? So a lot of times, those kind of situations, it's okay to be quiet. It's okay to appreciate the moment and just let it be. So relax. So in those kind of situations, if you recognize you ran out of things to say, you just kind of stopped talking on a certain point, but you recognize, you're eating or you're walking around or you're observing the scenery, if you're sitting down at a bench, totally fine. Reduce that awkwardness for yourself and recognize, how do I make this feel nice? And recognize and reframe it to think it's actually quite a nice environment, Actually, I'll stay silent and enjoy the moment. All right? So the only times where it can be, I guess, slightly awkward is if you're literally facing each other like this and you're looking at each other eye to eye and you just keep talking, it just stops and there's nothing else for you guys to do. That's when you should probably try to come up with something to talk about in that moment instead of just sitting there and staring at each other. So make sure you don't do that. But otherwise, most situations, it's great to have silence. It's comforting. So the second thing I want to say is when it comes to silence and you feel, right, you feel that you can be comfortable with it and you enjoy it, you still want to make sure that she's okay, right? You want to make sure that she doesn't feel like it's awkward. So the best way to go about that is by verbally acknowledging it. Verbally acknowledging that you enjoy the silence. So if you are eating, you can make the statement of, oh wow, hey, this is how you know food is really good, huh? When we're both quiet and really enjoying it. If you're walking around and you're quiet, you could say, I really appreciate just being able to observe an environment and just enjoy the peacefulness of it and just being quiet. Like I can hear the birds, and if you even want to be playful with it, adding some playfulness and fun, you can say, wow, look at that. We're silent together already. Wow, new level of the dating relationship as it is. Right? You can make it playful and kind of joke like that. It's actually very endearing and very cute. My partner and I did that when we first had our awkward silence, awkward in a car, but it wasn't awkward at all. So acknowledge the silence, and that way she verbally hears that you're okay with it, and that usually gives her a comforting feeling. And once she knows you're okay, then she's okay too. So that's the second point. So acknowledge it just so you can make sure she's okay with it. And then the third thing I want to say is when you feel that you want to bring something up, because let's say the silence has been for a couple minutes now and you feel like you want to say something, what to say, right? How do you know what to say next when the last conversation or the last topic you had just already ended? Well, two things. You either want to pick something that you want to learn more about her, like a specific area that maybe you haven't talked about, but that really matters to you. So you can pick a quality or pick an area that you want to get to know more about in regards to her. Or you can ask about a topic she's already brought up in the past, but you want to expand on it, or you want her, to expand on it. That's it. Just think about, what do I want to know? Let's say you want someone who's family oriented and you guys haven't talked about family yet. That's a topic you can ask her. And making sure that it's not awkward and asking a random question, all you have to do is acknowledge that it's random, or acknowledge that you just thought about it. So if you wanted to know more about her family, then it's simply saying, hey, I know this is random, but I just thought about this because I saw that and I thought about my family. I realized we never talked about family. How many siblings do you have? That's it. Just acknowledge. A lot of this is just acknowledging in the moment what is happening. And just by acknowledging, it reduces completely any awkwardness, any weirdness, any questions or concerns. And that's the same with if you feel that she might feel it's awkward silence, so acknowledging that and that you're enjoying it. Or if it's a random question, it didn't fall under what you just talked about, but you want to continue the conversation at some point, and you do that by acknowledging it's random and you want to ask a question, and you do so. That's it. That's how you handle awkward silence. Now I can put quotes around it because it's not actually awkward. Get comfortable in the silence. Silence is great for relationships. And once again, if you keep feeling it's awkward, that is an internal obstacle for you to overcome. So just ask yourself why it's so uncomfortable for you and start getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Thanks for watching, guys.